Straight. No, excuse me, I'm so tired. He gave his life in action. Then he was out there protecting the habitat for endangered birds. In overgrowth trees, which were not included in the protected areas under the government deal.
I'm going to call them right now. I can pay a phone or...
No, that's what I understand. I also live here. I've lived right here next to Headwaters Forest for 20 years. I didn't know him personally, no, but I understand that that's the purpose of the action. There was a timber harvest plan, a logging plan. I was being, we're trying to hold it up because there's a belief that the proper surveys had not been done for the marbled and rollet population. And the California Department of Forestry was scheduled to come out and inspect, because they did have reasons to suspect that perhaps the right surveys were not conducted and that it was an illegal logging operation. So David's death is indicative of the tremendous stress we're under here as a direct result of the government's failure to provide adequate protections for endangered species. Yeah, Naomi O.M.R. Steinberg, S-T-E-I-N-B-E-R-G, student rabbi. Also, I'm a resident. I live right here. He was killed a few miles from my home. So, as a local clergy person, I just stepped in to make contact with the family.
My name is Aaron, and we have a group statement to read, and that we'll start with that, and then we'll open it up to question individually. Thank you very much. As you might imagine, the last couple of days have been pretty hard for us, and just being able to get here was a struggle in itself, and so we're kind of throwing what we just trying our best. So we're just finishing up our group statement, and then we'll proceed.
Thank you very much.
It's Carrie. Can you hear me? And hi. And so I was there yesterday. Okay. So I'm just going to read this from the paper that we all read on. Those of us who were present during the death of our friend and fellow activist, David Gypsy Chain, would like to make the following statements and clarifications. Gypsy was a strong warrior who fought hard for the forest. His dedication and commitment to defending the earth is inspiring to all of us. Gypsy's death is not an isolated incident of violence. In the last several months, trees have been intentionally fallen at nonviolent activists in the Luna Tree Sit and the Mattole watershed. This is part of an escalation of violence against non-violent forest defenders in the Northwest and all over the world. The loggers were aware of our presence as we had engaged them in conversation throughout the day. In fact, the logger that felled the tree which killed our brother Gypsy had repeatedly threatened us with violence and chased us. He also purposely felled other trees in our direction. We never contrived a call and answer system. In truth, we ran for our lives. Basically, this is part of a series of lies and cover-ups to benefit Maxam corporations, including but not limited to the domino effect theory, the call and response communication, the claim they didn't know we were present, and the overall claim that Pacific Lumber operates safely. In closing, we would like to send our deepest sympathies to Gypsy's family, friends, and supporters, and all those beings killed by Maxam's destructive and greedy forest practices. Ongoing memorial services will be held off Highway 36, just past Grizzly Creek, campground on the left, and we ask for the area to be preserved as a memorial site for David Gypsy Chain. This means all logging activities should be ceased.
So can you tell us, what, from your perspective, what you saw yesterday leading up to this event?
Somebody else wanted to take turns.
Anybody wants to answer that question, it's fine. Just tell us your name for it.
I'm a farmer, and
Speak up, because actually those microphones are just going to the cameras. They're not actually projecting the sound.
all right. I was there yesterday, and we were nonviolent protesters in the forest. We were protesting the logging of the steep slopes in the Grizzly area, and the loggers had threatened us repeatedly. Threatened us with falling trees towards us, and he had chased us. And we had grouped up. We had kind of had a meeting and decided that we were going to go tell them that we were going to leave. And that we asked that they don't log. They don't come back tomorrow. They don't log tomorrow. And they. We were walking over, yelling out that we were there, don't fall the tree, that we're coming towards them. We're next to them on the hill, don't fall the tree. And we just started starting to go. And I didn't see anybody else at that time. I went to the survival mode and I just jumped underneath some bushes and small trees. And I turned over and looked up, and through this little clearing in the sticks, in the twigs in the tree, I saw a huge Doug fir coming down. And it landed approximately 6 feet away from me, and I was scared for my life. And I'm lucky that I was underneath the little trees because they stopped the branches from the Doug fir from hitting me. And I stood up and brushed myself off, and I looked around, and everybody started to stand up and look around, and we all congregated on the spot where the tree was laying. And the logger who had fallen the tree, and the logger who had threatened us previously, came over as well because we were yelling at him that he almost killed us. And then one of us realized that our friend Gypsy we didn't know where he was. We were looking around for him, we were calling his name, we couldn't find him. And the logger was the first to see him. He was lying near the tree, down the slope from where he had been last time I saw him. And he had massive head trauma, and he was unconscious. He was lying perfectly still. And at that point, one of us said that, one of us said that we should pray, so we all kind of knelt down. The logger knelt down also, and we asked him, after that we asked him to go call 911, and he ran up the hill. And I decided that I should leave and tell everybody what had happened, all the people at Action Camp. And so I left, and it was back at Action Camp that I found out that he was dead.
And so, was the logger who's on that videotape making all those threats the same one who felled the tree that hit David?
Yes.
So that's the same guy?
Yes.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Was it an accident?
Yeah.
I believe he was following them in our direction on purpose to scare us. I don't believe that he realized what he was doing, but once he did warn us. He told us that he said, if you stay there, I'm going to fall trees in this direction. I'm going to fall trees over here.